and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147. Happy 18th of December, everybody. Time is flying, but let's open day 18 gift, which does shake a dake for today. So today we have a selection or a sample of some square diamonds. These ones are glow in the dark, so you can add these ideally in replace of like 3865, which is not quite as white, though you can place them on sort of white ones as well, and these ones will glow in the dark when the lights are off. So nice to add some little accents to some pictures. So that is today's one. We have using a pen today from Hand Turned Heaven. This is actually one of their little mini ones, so it's about half the size of a normal pen, and I thought we'll team this up with the white tray. We'll go all white today, and then when I peel this back we're going to add a load of white with the white tray. So let's tip out the rest of this pot, because I reckon I'll end up getting through the rest of this. Scoop this forward. Oh, for a zoom in. I was actually getting it the right way that time. Let's see how far I can get away with it going on my desk while still zooming in, because we're right at the top corner. Just move my laptop over a little bit so that I can still see your comments and questions. But I hope everybody is having a fantastic Monday, as far as Mondays can go. Last week of work for many, if you're not already off for Christmas. Last few days to have at it before we get a little bit more relaxing time for most, not all. Or it could be a crazy busy time, but hopefully still a very fun time. So comments, etc. Bev, she said, hi everyone. She said she is absolutely chuffed to bits with today's advent. So we're on comments from day 14. She says she didn't expect a diamond painting and she can't wait to start it. She said she has a black Christmas tree with silver, pink and purple mini mirror balls on it, and a mini pink feather boa instead of tinsel. Love it. She says, and her lights are the pink fluffy ones that you usually find in teenage girl bedrooms. She says, but she decided to change it up a little bit this year, and she's ordered a new tree. She said it's white and it looks really cute. She says every year she tries to get a new special ornament. She said, hope everybody is having a lovely evening. I do like getting sort of additional new little different ornaments each year. It's been fun. There's quite a few that I love. You know, some more than others, you know, just sort of hit that pretty spot for me. But I like the fact that most of them are different. And I think that's what can make it special. But it takes a while to build up something like that, so I've been enjoying building that up over quite a few years now that I've been doing that. Say 1 or 2, depends on what the shops have. Tend to go for the more neutral ones for my mix up, so that I can change my colour scheme with just 1 pack of baubles, 1 pack of your basic baubles, and I can change my colour scheme to whatever I want it to be. Debbie says happy 14th of December. She said tomorrow is the day that she's wrapping presents. It's quite she's quite daunted as she has a lot to do because she has 4 daughters and 13 grandchildren. She says, wish me luck. Yes, it's the 13 grandchildren, isn't it? It's not the 4 daughters. It's when it all of a sudden ends up being 13 grandchildren that you're like, that I can imagine involves a whole load more Christmas than you used to. Gretchen says she's so excited about the Christmas diamond painting in day 14. She says she's hoping to finish her current WIP before going to visit her mum. She thinks that the small diamond painting might be just the right size to take with her. Yes, it'll be perfect to take with you. It's a nice little transportable type size diamond painting. The big diamond paintings are awesome. I absolutely love them. But sometimes it is nice just to take something a little bit more bite size. Especially if you don't think you're necessarily going to have time to diamond paint, or diamond painting's not necessarily something that you are planning on doing. It's always nice to pack something a little bit smaller, because quite often you do end up with those pockets of downtime where you might fancy doing some, whereas to be quite honest, those times are often forgotten about, especially in the chaos of Christmas. But actually the little tissue bin that I have in my craft room that's got diamonds all around it, that is actually a little project that I actually took with me Christmas Day a few years ago to my sister-in-law's, because while it's an extremely busy day, there is a little pocket of time before sort of dinner, and there's also often a little pocket of time after dinner where people tend to be a bit more, there might be a film on, there might be chatting on, but there's quite a lot of us, so we're often spread out about the house. So sitting at the table and just doing a bit of that is fun. It's like relaxing to me, and I get to enjoy the chatter that's going on while still doing something with my hands. I didn't do loads, didn't do a lot, must have been 15 minutes probably, if that. Did the rest of it when I got home, but it was a very, very nice 15 minutes while I got to do a little bit of it. So it's always fun. Right, I'm wondering if this craft dot needs a remove and a pop back in. You'll be sick of hearing that by the end of this December Advent, but I've been touching pens I haven't touched since probably the June Waffle, if not even before that, because I can't remember all the ones I went through on my June Waffle. But I will say I do have a lot of pens, that's for sure. But yeah, I'm going to try and be a bit more varied with the ones I have in kits this year, and try and allocate a pen to a kit, and make it that I use that pen, and go through a few more this year. Margaret says, hi Rebecca. She says she loves the diamond painting which came in the Advent this morning. She says she's been doing it while I'm talking. She said 6 more working days before we finish for Christmas. She says she cannot wait to start the break. She said she needs lots of sleep. Well, at least we've got the day before Christmas Eve, haven't we, being a Saturday, to maybe have a bit more of a relaxing day off, because while we haven't got sort of extra bank holidays shoved onto the week after because of the way Christmas falls, it's kind of nice that you get that Saturday before the Sunday of Christmas Eve and then the Monday of Christmas. Yeah, it's kind of nice to sort of get that extra day then as just a little bit of breathe out time, unless of course you've got something else planned, but hopefully you'll be able to catch up on your sleep then before Christmas starts. Tamara says, hi Rebecca. She says she's just heard my comment about whether it's an actual piercing for doth piercing for migraines. She said it's an actual piercing. Oh, okay. Sorry, autocorrect seems to have had a moment on her comment. It's actually put it as two separate words, which is what it took a moment for me to get. So it is actual a piercing that you have to go through. You have to go to somebody who's certified for body piercing to have it done, but she says she swears by hers, like she said before. She says they're so worth it. So there you go. Anybody that's looking into potentially getting that, it is something that you will need to find a professional for. But if you are happy to get your body pierced to potentially get rid of migraines, if it works for you, then it sounds like something that's worth trying. Because if it's like, you know, any sort of other, in effect, piercing, it is something that if it doesn't work for you, it can be removed, and the human body can do its magic and heal itself. So it's probably worth a go, I'd say. Right, I do need to turn my tray round, but I am just going to see if taking this out and putting it back in helps. Because often that's all I need to do with a glue dot for a couple of times before it gets to the point that I replace one, is I just take it out and pop it back in again. Roz says, day 14, love it, love it, love it. She says, brilliant, Rebecca and co. Thank you. I was very excited about people getting to day 14. That's for sure. Beverly, she says, okay, Rebecca, she says she's going to do the day 14 painting on Christmas Day, as it's a quiet day for them. And she'll be able to concentrate. She says, how do I need to start the square painting? In the middle or on the edges? She needs a plan of attack. She said, thanks so much. Every day she opens a package and she loves it so much. There has been, I know with the Paint Gem Minis, because they're sort of partials and they're weird shapes, there has been a couple of sort of recommendations to start from the middle and work your way out. However, to probably do the easiest way to get yourself started on a painting that is a solid square, I would probably start on the edges, one of the edges. So I often start bottom left, but that's my preference because I prefer to come in at the diamond with my pen this way. So like even when I've started this section, I've started bottom left. If you're left-handed, you may prefer bottom right, so you can come at it with this way, or you may prefer to go up. Whichever is your preference on a normal painting. So think about which way you come in with your pen and which way you prefer, and pick that, in effect, corner. A nice way to start squares if you've never done them before. So I do have some tips and tricks videos on squares. There is some, I think, in my tips and tricks sections. I'm not sure if I've got them in my beginners section as well, but there's definitely some in my tips and tricks. But if you get, say, a couple of gift cards, a ruler, plastic ruler, credit card, you know, whatever you've sort of got to hand. And you can often use the little bit of adhesive that runs over to sort of make your card stick on the side of your painting. And it's just raised up enough for you to be able to go in with your pen and butt your diamonds up to that corner. And that can help to give you a nice sort of straight edge to start with. Helps you to get them nice and straight. I personally prefer the step method for squares. So use your edge. I'll sort of show you on this bit. So use your edge that you'll have popped down to give you a nice straight edge going up around your edges, corner or whatever. Now I know it is a little bit more confetti, especially I think the bottom left hand corner of that image. It's definitely more confetti, so you'll be doing a bit more like the checkerboard method. But use those straight edges to get you your nice edge around the edges. Don't panic as much in relation to the straightness inside, because the bottom of the diamond painting, as I say, is like 3 different colours scattered. I think it's 3. Let me grab it. So can you see here, this, if you were starting bottom left, that is, it's quite a few different colours, but basically place your straight edges across the top and the bottom to give you that nice part to work. And then depending on what section you're on, I like to come in on the step method so that I'm forever coming in and placing a diamond where there's already a couple placed. So I can just butt it up against and put them down that way. But you will find, say, that bottom corner is a little bit more scattered. So you might be placing them in a few different random places. So imagine this is your first colour. So place them down, you know, as straight as you can, but I've got a wonky one there. Not too worried about that wonky one. So once you've placed your few down, you then might come in with your second colour. So imagine we've gone to a second colour. You might be placing that in a few different places. And as you see, as I'm putting that inside this next one, it's actually nudged the diamond over just a little bit on the bottom. Not a huge amount, but just a little bit. But then you come in with, say, your third colour and you start filling in the gaps. And this one that's a little bit wonky, you end up actually nudging it with that diamond and with the one underneath and with the one on the top. And it sort of straightens up your diamonds enough. As long as you've got your visual straight edge down this side, that's what your eye will see more when you step back. Now, not all these diamonds, I know people say I place square diamonds pretty straight, and while I agree on the whole they're straight, there are definitely diamonds within it that are not exactly straight. But what you've got to remember is the closest you're ever going to get to your diamond painting is while you're doing it. That is the closest that you are going to see every aspect of that painting. Like, even while I'm doing this, I'm not seeing how close this one is because this one's done to me. I see how straight it is or it isn't when I step back. So if you're ever unsure and thinking, oh, my diamonds don't look right, take a step back. Just a little bit, doesn't even need to be a whole, put it up high on the wall, like we often suggest with custom paintings. But in relation to how close they are or aren't, make sure your light pad's off, because if I had a light pad on, this would definitely show gaps in the diamonds that you can't see otherwise. Make sure your light pad is off, just sit back in your chair, and you probably will not notice those wonky diamonds. If you do, then yeah, maybe go in and readjust. But make sure that the whole section is complete before you do that. So I wouldn't necessarily judge the straightness of these spokes until I've got all my others in, because I know this one will get nudged up. This one will probably get a bit straightened, and this one will probably get a bit straighter when I put the diamonds in around it. But most of all, have fun. slow and steady. It's a small one, so it's not going to be something that you need to go slow and steady at it for months for it to be finished. And just enjoy the process. Enjoy trying it with squares. If you've only ever done rounds before, do realise it does take longer with squares. They are smaller than rounds, so you're actually placing more diamonds than you do with rounds. But it will look amazing once you're finished. And as I say, the diamonds will nudge each other, or you won't particularly notice that one is a little bit more slanted than the others as soon as you lean back when you look at it. But getting that nice straight edge with a ruler, credit card, gift card, something that's to hand that's not paper. Don't use paper. Something that's to hand that's not paper. Just use that to get yourself your straight edge, because then when you do step back, the more stark difference between the diamonds and the canvas, which guaranteed this isn't the best example of a painting that has a huge difference between the two because it's white, but those that are darker you'll definitely notice, or you're more likely to notice when the edges aren't straight than you are the individual diamonds in the middle. So that's the main tip, but just enjoy it. Enjoy the process of it, and enjoy trying out squares on a nice small picture that won't take you months to complete. And if you enjoy it, you can build up your enjoyment or your practice doing squares over time, and then you end up getting pretty quick, you know, and you can place diamonds. I can place diamonds now pretty much as quick on a square as I can on a round. I just tend to finish a round quicker because there's less diamonds if I do a round of the same size. Amy, she said Son gets to do the Advent Christmas day and then his birthday. She said she sat wrapping all his presents for him. That's the thing with a birthday near Christmas, isn't it? Say my daughter's birthday it's actually tomorrow, though she's not home from Australia until a few days after her birthday, so I'm sure we will celebrate it a little bit more then, or she'll at least get her gifts then. I'm not sending them to Australia for her to try and fit in her suitcase and bring back, because her suitcase is struggling as it is. Susan, she says, what an incredible gift in the Advent today. She says she finished her small round drill diamond painting yesterday and was going to go back to her large one for today's waffle. But she opened this package, she said, paused my video, kitted it up immediately. She said she was shocked and thrilled to see 37 colours for such a small painting. She says, but she's here for it. She was having a bit of fear of missing out for not purchasing this year's painting. So you can imagine, she says she's floating on cloud 9 now. She says she got a fairly good amount done while listening to me, and she will probably finish it today. She says, if not today, tomorrow for sure. She said she thinks it's an adorable painting. Thank you so much for another wonderful day of waffling. She said, see you tomorrow. Oh, so glad it made your day, Susan. It is a lovely painting. I do need to do it myself. I've not done it myself as of yet, but maybe I'll get it done soon. Magic Moonchild, she says she's got her nails done. She says she's got an electric blue based on the tray the other day. Love it. She says now this tray is making me wish she'd got glitter on them too. Love it. Deciding your nail colour according to trays. I need to get to the point where I actually do my nails again. I decided to leave them for a couple of weeks just to sort of let them. It was a crazy time. I was forever scratching, breaking nails, building furniture, all the rest of it. And I thought, you know what? Let's just give my nails a bit of a break and let them recover. You know, after a while of having like gel nail polish and whatever else on, it was like, right, let's just let them have a little bit of a break. It's been months. It's been months and I've still not started putting nail varnish back on again. I really need to. I might get round to it soon enough. KS says she was so excited about this gift. She says totally unexpected. Thank you. Oh, I'm glad you like it. Stephanie, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she absolutely loves the diamond painting and she can't wait to work on it. She says, thank you so much. She says this is her first Advent and she will be back next year. She said, if you and Luna will have me. Of course. She says, while watching your videos, she said she's been racing me to see who finishes first. She says, but you seem to beat me, even though she watches the commercials and still diamond paints. I think it is, sometimes I do feel as though I'm placing diamonds quicker when I get in a little bit of a rhythm where I'm not reading a comment and I'm chatting about something. I do feel myself sort of speed up. Sometimes I feel like my talking speeds up at the same time. But yeah, I have definitely gotten quite quick with diamond painting. I am also constantly moving my tray to be closer because I don't want to waste that time in between tray and diamond painting. This clip at the moment up in the top corner, keeping hold of the tray, kept slowing me down up in this top section from getting the diamonds down. But yeah, I do admit that there are people that do manage to beat me on days, and there are people that will be faster than me. But there is a lot of it is down to, say, practice, and sometimes, especially when it takes me, a bit to read out a comment, or yeah, if I lose my place in a comment and stuff, it can often take me a bit more to get it. Colleen says, hi Rebecca. She says, did you show your finished White Christmas yet? She says she can't wait to see it, and she's about halfway done. She says there's not enough time in a day, as she's been living at the vets recently with 4 sick kittens. Oh, bless. She said all on antibiotics and drops for eyes. She says she's hoping she can get back to it soon. She always makes sure that she watches my videos every day. She says, thank you, you make my day. No, I haven't showed a completed video of White Christmas yet. The December event sort of takes over. I have framed it. I need to take an image of it on the wall just as a little ending to that video. I also need to de-kit the diamonds and pop the diamonds away. So my plan is that between Christmas and New Year, especially with it being a Christmas painting, so between Christmas and New Year I will do the breakdown and then I will do the framing videos. So those 2 videos will be in that gap. So you will be able to see it sort of once this event is done. I haven't filmed the breakdown yet. I'm hoping to get some filming, some extra video filming in this week while Catherine's home, before Caris gets back But we shall see how all that goes, because as one knows, it doesn't always go to plan. But yeah, my plan is to try and get the breakdown and that done so that I can put those up in between Christmas and New Year. I haven't actually written out my schedule for between then. I probably need to do that soon. I just have a list of videos that I can do, and I've just done a couple of them already, sort of depending on what I'm in the mood to video or what I'm in the mood to do, and then I'll sort out when they're getting put up. But yeah, Christmas, I feel like between Christmas and New Year, before we sort of, our brains switch off from Christmas and go fully to it's the new year, I'll try and get it up then. So you've not missed anything. Right, let me get my rhinestones back in the packet. Put the stopper back in my tray, otherwise I will tip it up. I have done it a few times when I've lost my stopper out of my tray, like it's accidentally come out of the tray. And there has been a few times that I've gone to tip my diamonds out and made a right mess. It's definitely fun. I also need to dekit this painting, or at least I will do at some point. And I actually have, when I did the sample ones, I did the round and then I put the diamonds away from the round and used the same case to kit up the squares. And of course I did those off camera because I was doing the testers before you guys even knew what it was. But I've never actually dekitted the square one. When I was sorting out the craft room / the shop and all the stuff, I was like, what's this case from? And I realised it's actually from this painting. So my plan is to dekit them both together because they're both the same numbers and they're both square. So I'm just going to dekit both of them at the same time. So yeah, quite a few dekitting, kitting ups, etc. to come in January. Love Strawberries says, hello, they finally watched today's video on the day. It said it's been a crazy December so far. They love the mini diamond painting in today's, and they have been video calling their mum on a few of the days to share their excitement. Love it. Many of the things are items that they haven't bought themselves, even after 3.5 years. They were still using the pens in the kits. The metal tips and pen are amazing. They're currently working on Myrtle from Diamond Art Club, knowing they won't finish it for Christmas, but they will have it for next year. This is their first big square after dipping their toes into squares with Paint Gem minis. Yeah, small ones are always good. That's why when we had the choice of round or squares for this little mini painting, I thought, you know what? I know there are some people that don't like to do squares, and they won't buy the big one in squares. They're a round person primarily. But to have a go, or to have another go, maybe after having a go before, with it being a small one, I thought it will be easy enough to sort of try a small one instead, just as a little bit of a change of pace. KS says they love it. Thank you. Joe says, looks like she'll be able to finish her WIP before her trip. Oh, that's good to know. I was hoping for an update, Joe, after reading your comment the other day. We're getting a bit invested now on whether this WIP's going to get finished. She says she finished section 22 a few minutes after the video ended. She said she may also attempt to finish the kit that we got in the advent today. Oh my goodness me, throw a challenge on top of a challenge. She says thank you for all that you do. That is throwing challenges on challenges. KS says, speaking of sticky grip mats, she put one on her desk and smoothed an eyeglass / polishing cleaning rag over it, and now she has a mouse pad that doesn't move. Love it. She said she was having trouble finding a mouse pad and knew she had one. She says, but this is just as good as the bought ones. Love it. So many uses for so many different things, and people just come up with them all the time. Always makes me smile. The amount of imaginative things that people can think of. Right. Okay, no. I was thinking then, do I just go down and do the spokes? But I have done a little bit of the basket, so I am going to finish off that bit of the basket. I've got quite a few bits that are in quite a few different places on this one. So I think I'm going to try and make sure I get sort of this basket section done. We've got a very bitty section with the flowers. So let's box off the basket before I then move on to doing the frame. But there is quite a few bits that cross over into a few different places on this one. Excuse me. Okay, I was trying to pick up. I don't know if anybody else does this, but I've got the diamonds, of course, in these round bottles, which come in a case that have the foam insert to hold the bottles. And every now and then I drop a diamond on the sort of foam insert part. And if you drop it near the edge, I try to pick the diamond up, and the amount of times it just slides down the foam insert is unreal. And that's just what have happened. So I was trying to save a diamond and I failed miserably. So it is now stuck in the case until, if I ever get round to fishing them out of the bottom. Trish says she's been watching my videos even though she's not doing an advent. You are more than welcome, Trish. Everybody is welcome to join in. It is about taking a bit of me time, regardless of what you are doing. It's just about taking me time. Kim, she says still no decorations or Christmas tree up. She said bathroom remodel is 90% done, but they still need to prep the walls and paint them and put trim back down. Ooh, exciting. She said we have a ceramic tree that lights up that they received as a gift way back when they first got married 43 years ago. Wow. She says we have decided that that will be our tree this year. Sometimes that's just what you need to do, and I completely feel you. Sometimes you just need to go, we're having a scale back. Doesn't mean you're a Grinch, doesn't mean there's anything wrong, just recognising that there is so much going on in your life right now that you have more of a token celebration than a full-on let's turn the house upside down even more than it already is, because that's not going to help anybody. She said her son is 37 and he and his wife have their own decorated home and are only interested in the gifts anyway. Love it. Gifts and the time with you, Kim. They will thoroughly enjoy your newly remodelled bathroom, if it's a bathroom they're allowed in. They can thoroughly enjoy that. And your ceramic tree, because that will be there. After that, if they don't like it, they can go back home and look at their own decorations. Coley Isaac said happy 9th of December, everyone. They absolutely love my tray, the tray I'm using, and was wondering if you'd be coming out with more like that in the future. That was on the 9th. I'm actually not sure which one the 9th was. I've lost track on which colour that one is. We do occasionally redo colours. A lot depends on if it's something that we've offered in both sizes. Also, you know, we do have requests for certain colours of trays and things, and we try to accommodate those in our plans for trays, as well as doing colours and things that are either new as technology progresses, as options for filament and things get wider and wider. We're forever looking at, you know, what's new out there, whether it can work with our trays, whether the look's good. We've got quite a few different filaments that we're currently in the process of testing and seeing how they look, because they're a little bit different to what's been out there before. So there is definitely always the possibility. If it was the turquoise one, I can't get hold of that exact colour, but I am forever on the hunt for a decent turquoise. Coley's also said, it's funny to think you've almost made me a custom advent calendar with a lot of the items being the colour blue, as that's their favourite colour. We have, so a few items that we have done that have ended up being colours. We have tried to err on the side of caution with some of the colours. So some things are random colours. There is a mix of them. So it is a bit of chance of what you get and what you don't. But we have tried not to stick to a certain colour palette too much. Trying to play it safe-ish, trying to make it varied. Basically because everybody likes different colours. So we've tried to pick what looks the nicest and the best, alongside what potentially will be the most popular. So the light up pen being blue actually was the prettiest option that was available, to be fair. It was the nicest looking one that our supplier offered. And we thought blue is quite safe compared to, you know, pink, for example. But sometimes it falls on pink because they're our company colours. Said the mum and themselves have been ready for Christmas since November the 12th. Goodness me, that is preparation. Since November the 12th, they've done all their shopping and wrapped the gifts at their gift wrapping station set up in their parents' bedroom. I hope you have a great day. When are you coming over to wrap mine? Very, very organised. Absolutely love it. It's my dream. There has been years that I have been that organised. This year definitely seems a lot more relaxed, like I'm not stressing that things aren't done, that things aren't, you know, wrapped and sorted. I think that's partly because I'm still in denial as to how soon Christmas actually is. But I also think it's, say, if Christmas was tomorrow, it could all get wrapped this evening. So I know it will happen. And I'd rather enjoy wrapping it than feel like I have to wrap it at a certain time, because that's when I've said I'd rather just go, do you know what, I'm going to wrap this evening, or I'm going to wrap this afternoon, and get it done, say, when I'm more in the mood for it, up for it, should we say. Right, I've actually got some of these scattered in the flowers as well. So I better get these added into my mix. Cross stitch and tat. Oh, they'd like more of the cute little diamond paintings from today's event. They would be great gifts to give away finished for next Christmas. I am putting these on K and I'm actually on J. So let me just scoot these over. That one shouldn't be on K. This is where poured glue comes in amazing. Okay, I've actually finished that one. For some reason I was looking at K and I should have been doing J. Okay, now we'll do the letter K and actually fill the right one in. It's a great Advent event. Cross Stitch and Tack now is so busy up until Christmas. They're busy up till Christmas. You may only get Mrs. Claus emotional if she's too tired by the time she gets to watch and listen. You have a very, very busy season, Mrs. Claus. She said Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all if she doesn't comment before then. We will have some of that painting available in January. We have a mixture of sort of clearance, which is sort of extra items that we've got, mixed in with some sale items as well. So anything we've sort of got left over from Advent, we may well put, you know, those that we've got extras of up as a sort of once it's gone sort of item, and some stuff we may put on sale. But yeah, that'll all be in our sort of January clear out / fresh start kind of time. Right, let me get those in. I'm going to go for the letter R. Put my little thing up on my grip mat and I might have more chance of not getting the wrong one. Sue says, hi Rebecca. She says she got such a surprise when she opened this one after work. She said she absolutely loves it. Can't wait to kit it up. And so many colours. Wow, thank you. Yes, there is a lot of colours in that little baby. But it should be a fun one, albeit low colours. Might help you build your spares up though. You're pretty good at building your spares up with those colours, albeit only a few. But you should be able to build them up quite nicely. Right, I'm just going to tip these into my pot lid for this one. If you only need a couple or a few diamonds, sometimes tipping a few into your pot lid can be enough. Like enough land the right way up for you to be able to get a few. I do the same with black. I only need 2 for the pedal. So as long as I grab 2 that are the right way up out of the pot lid, that's enough. And then I'm actually going to move to the red. I should be doing the yellow because that's the one that's down here. But I'm going to move to the red because again, I've got like one that is well out of the way of the rest. And I don't want to miss that bad boy. Crafty Erin said she loves the little diamond painting. Like a few others have said, they hope that there's a possibility of getting it in the future. Yeah, so we do have a few left over. So it will be January for those. We'll also have a few things on sale. There's also a few things like trays that are not printed right for whatever reason. Bit of damaged sort of trays will be notified, but we tend to clear those out in January as well. And yeah, just get things sort of cleared out a bit, allow people to get a bit of a bargain in January before we start with full normal launches again in February. Got an exciting tray for February is the plan. A little bit of a different one. Denise said, just a thought about posting the wee pot. Can you take the lid off and stick the nut to the inside of the top of the lid? Then would having those bits separate fit in a box better for posting? That is something I will need to check. Very good suggestion. So thank you for that. That is something that I will need to test. I'm not actually sure if it's the actual pot, even with the lid, without the lid, that is still too deep for our boxes. But I will check, because it may be something that I can sort of get away with if I do it separate. So good shout. Thank you for that, Denise. I'll check. Silja Burgess Dottir. Not sure. I'll have hashed it anyway. Hi Rebecca and everyone. They said they've really enjoyed the daily WIP and Waffle and the Advent gifts. In relation to many people already putting their Christmas tree, they wanted to share the traditions they grew up with. So it said, in Iceland, we celebrate Christmas on December the 24th. So Christmas Eve to the rest of us. The churches ring the Christmas in at 6 p.m. And then most Icelanders sit down to their festive Christmas meal. Their Christmas tree, which is a live tree, did not get decorated until Christmas Eve day. Ooh. Herself and her sisters were made to sit in our parents' bedroom and watch cartoons or read books while their parents decorated the tree. Then right before 6 p.m, they would get us and bring us to the living room with our eyes closed for the big reveal of the decorated tree. The tree would stay up until the 13th day of Christmas, January the 6th, when they would take everything off the tree and take it to the communal bonfire for disposal. Oh, very like community-based Christmas, which is nice. One Christmas tradition that is still in effect all over Iceland and has been for years is that everyone gets at least one book as a Christmas gift. The time before Christmas is known in the Icelandic book publishing world as the Christmas book flood. I can imagine if everybody gets at least one. They wish everybody a happy and healthy holiday. I kind of like that. I do kind of like that. So do you open presents then on Christmas Eve? I think you do, because I think I've seen it before or read it before where it's sort of celebrated then. It's kind of nice that, 6 p.m. is sort of, that's when church rings the bells, everybody sits down, you have your meal and all that, in effect, before you then open presents and things. And I could probably stand having my tree up until the 6th of January if it was only put up on Christmas Eve. Because ours is put up earlier, it's definitely something that I am over before it gets to the 6th. User FO7 and lots just said she's just started the small diamond painting that came with day 14. First square painting, and they love how the squares snap into place. Really enjoying the painting. Not so frightened to start a bigger square painting. perfect. That is exactly the sort of thing that I, in effect, kind of wanted or looked forward to potentially hearing, is that, you know, it's a chance for people to give it a go who maybe haven't given square paintings a go before. Because even a 30 by 30 painting in a square can be daunting. 30 by 30 paintings, whether they're round or square, do still take a fair bit of time. And don't get me wrong, 15 by 15 will still take some time, but nowhere near sort of as much. And because it definitely looks a lot smaller, it's nowhere near as overpowering or daunting due to that. So happy that you've given it a go and that you're enjoying it. Tina says she has completed her mini diamond painting from the Advent. And it's so shiny and beautiful. She said the squares were a dream to work with. And again, her youngest stole today's Advent gift, the funnel, as apparently it makes for an excellent bath toy. Who knew? There we go. Another use. If you already have a funnel, it's a bath toy instead. Thank you for your company tomorrow. She says she'll need to catch up as we have the panto to go to and a meal beforehand. This year's is Dick Whittington. And oh no, it isn't. Oh yes, it is. Awesome. Anne said it's an awesome diamond painting. Thank you. Oh, and Jess says it was her that posted the pictures about completing the diamond painting immediately. Oh, it did make me chuckle. So Jess posted on Facebook, it was like 6 a.m. opened painting. 6, something else past 6, painting being kitted up. A few hours later, painting finished. It did make me smile. Yeah, I love the excitement that it sort of generates, because that's what Christmas is partly about, isn't it? It's partly about the excitement, and it's nice that there is so many of us getting excitement from it too. Right, day 18 is done. We have another one complete up here. Moving to day 19. Oh, I think we're actually going to end up getting the top half done first. I didn't notice that when I was putting them down. But hey ho, that's how it goes. Not bothered. We'll get the top part done and then we'll complete the bottom part. At least then I won't have to keep moving it up and down, I suppose, on my easel. I can just prop it up. But yeah, day 18 is done. So thank you all so much for joining me for this one and for all of the others. And for those doing squares, I actually have quite a few mismatchy, shapy squares here. So when you take a step back or when the camera zooms out, it's nowhere near as noticeable, and it definitely won't be once, say, you're looking at the painting as a whole. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining me, and I'll speak to you all again tomorrow.